Okay, welcome back friends. Now in today's video, I will try to demonstrate how to find blank spaces in our data frame and identify the positions and either you remove those rows which has a blank space or replace with the means or the medium of a variable. So we'll try to take those corrective measures because it is very important for data analysis that none of our data space are missing or blank. So we'll start with there are various methods. So I'll start first. I have taken one data frame with a name r_p, right? So first we'll read that and accordingly we'll proceed with identifying and replacing those space with a median or mean. So first we'll start with, as I have written down all the syntax in the syntax file. I will explain you each and every step, and these are the basic syntax that is used. So I will try to explain all those. So first I am reading the file, that is r_p, which has deliberately I have put some blanks in the data set, in the data frame. I will try to, through the syntax and the program, will try to first find out those places and will try to remove also. So there are various methods. So first I am reading that. So first you go to the library to activate the reader R package, and then I will read, control enter. So I have read the file now and it is stored in RP. I had a file r_p.csv which has a data, various type of data, and now that would be stored in RP. Now we can also see that RP here as well. So if I write RP here and go for a control enter, it will show you all the such data. You can also see the NA is reflecting here in red color. That demonstrates or that reflects there was a blank space or say unfilled data. So data is missing in that space. So SBN at say row 7 does not have any data point. So similarly we'll try to find all such scenario and accordingly we'll take the corrective action. So first we will take a manual method. In a manual method, there is a syntax called edit, right? So if you use edit as a syntax for the RP variable, right, what I am doing here is I would be manually editing the blank spaces and I would be storing another variable. Here RP is another variable that will store the entire data frame. So I'm just running that part. Just see control enter. So you will have this space. This is a data space, the data file that I had, data frame, and you can see the NAs are already written here. NA here and SBN 7. Similarly, we have PB variable PB having at 11th row unfilled data. Subsequently, we can trace down all such vacant spaces, blank spaces. So you can see numerous NA is reflecting here. This could be manually changed and could be stored in another data variable. So if I replace here by say 4.5, right, at 7, and similarly PB 11 I store by say 5, and if I close this, what subsequently is happening is those changes is subsequently getting reflected into RP1. Now RP1, if I say make the correction for all the NAs, it will be now the corrected data or a clean data frame that could be utilized for data analysis. So this is a manual method. So if I press RP1, see what will happen. So you can see this, or there is at SBN 7, you can see we have 4.5. Similarly PB 11 we had, right, we entered 5. So at 11 PV, you can see it is 5 reflecting. So what is happening manually, also we can make certain adjustment or corrections and we can store in another variable that could be utilized for data analysis. So this is a manual way of doing the same correction, finding the manually searching for the blank spaces and manually filling if we know the mean and median of those variables, column variables. Now another method is using syntax called is.na. Is.na is a function we generally try to find is there any na available, in sense if any non-numerical data, or you can say vacant spaces or blank spaces available in your data frame. It will try to extract all those and it will display the information, right? So the question is at is.na. So if it is there, it will reflect true. If it is not there, it will reflect false. Similarly, which is a function or syntax which will reflect same is.na RP, says is there any blank spaces or na in your data frame. So when we write which, it will reflect the numbers position, at what position we have the na in your data frame, right? So we'll just look into those. If I just go on entering executing this syntax, see what you'll find. Control enter. So you can see it has reflected true and false values, where false reflect there is no availability of na, and true represent yes there is na in the data. So wherever there is a true, it reflect that there was the blank space left or no entry was done. So subsequently we can take action. Similarly, when we go with a which function, which which is here in the syntax or a script, just go press control enter, again said it will reflect the position where at which where we don't have any data entries, or which is a blank, nobody has given any response or entered in a value, and which is very mandatory for our data analysis. So 779, 84, 181, 184, 188, 279 and 311 reflects the position where we have na or the blank spaces. So these two are generally these two functions generally gives a reflection whether there is availability of blank spaces or na in your data frame or not, and if it is so, which generally reflect at what position we have those blank spaces. Now what we do here is we use a function called na.emit, and since what is happening is wherever there is a na, right, or blank spaces, this particular function na.omit, what it will omit the rows where we have nas, right? And rp3 generally stands for another variable. After omitting removing those rows, it will store the data frame, the final data frame, into rp3. So rp3 now automatically will have no nas, in sense now it is a clean from blank spaces. So this is a direct method of getting the values. So just pressing control enter, it has already done its, so it's executed. Now the omitted, after cleaning, after removing na, whatever is left over, it is now stored in rp3. So once we again go into a which function and try to find whether it is existing or not and at what position, it will give us the information whether the omission has been completed or not. So just go here and just press control enter. So you can see there is no blank spaces now. Everything, all the rows which has a na into it is been replaced, is been omitted, in sense removed, not replaced, removed now. Okay. Now similarly we can also find what are the total numbers of NAs available or existing in each rows and each columns. That could also be obtained using the function called row sums within a bracket is.na and the file name from where you're trying to find NA. Similarly, column sums could be used for finding the total number of such NA existing in each particular column, and this will help us to identify if for data analysis and cleaning there are certain requirements. It helps into either removing the columns of the row if the number of such NAs are more than the critical values, or if it is below the critical value, we can replace with the mean or the median. So there are certain requirement basis that first we try to find how many such NAs are existing in each column and each rows. Accordingly, we can take decision either to omit the rows or to substitute with the mean or median. So just see, I will